Welcome back, family, to yet another exciting episode and informative episode here on the Feel Good Podcast channel. Thank you for your continuous love and support. Please do continue spreading our links so that we continuously grow. I'm your host, Ms. Clara, and today we're going to be looking at emotional management and self-regulation. Ideally, all of us would be able to take in compliments and criticism in a balanced way. When someone remarks that we did an outstanding job on a project, or even in the way one looks, would feel proud and even glow from the inside. On the contrary, when someone expresses disappointment that we hurt their feelings, we would actually feel bad that we let that person down, or we failed to live up to certain reasonable standards. We wouldn't expect to never make mistakes because no one is perfect. No one is perfect, and we would also never assume that we're always in the wrong or we can't do anything right. So I would like to liken a person's ability to take in criticism or a compliment to a Velcro strip, or rather a magnet. Yes, because a Velcro strip has the side that I would like to call positive and the other that I would like to call negative. Same as a magnet. One is for each, either a negative comment or a positive comment, and it will stick to the appropriate end. Whatever praise or criticism, it sticks to the appropriate end of the magnet or Velcro strip. In this way, we'd now get to learn about ourselves and how well we are doing in this world. And ideally, we would actually value each magnet end or Velcro end, and this would actually help us in recognizing that they are both equally important and necessary to a very good emotional health and emotional growth at large. We might have a strong reaction to comments and get very, very excited or get really, really disappointed. But all that would not prevent us from taking in what is said and acknowledging it. Sometimes being able to deal with both would actually help us and would be able to use it to self-betterment. However, many people do not possess equal Velcro strips or magnet ends. A person can either only stand to take in positive things and therefore deny or ignore the negatives, or other people may only stand to hear the negatives and not believe in the positive things they do. Statistics is that those that have an overly sized negative strip actually do well with therapy, and they can successfully develop the missing positive strip. Of course, it takes time, but it is very achievable. Reason why I chose this topic of being able to balance positive criticism and negative criticism is because many of us expect to feel good about ourselves all the time when we achieve a certain goal, or rather the most common, have a healthy weight. But we sometimes don't know how to take in those positive compliments, because at the back of your mind you might actually start thinking that a person is criticizing you indirectly, but actually it is what it is. We need to be able to cherish and accept compliments because being able to master this concept of grasping and appreciating compliments will not only help you in small aspects, but it would actually help you in other areas of life. Remember, mental health is being able to appreciate the good, the bad, and the ugly. So it is important for one to be together in their mind. As an individual, you need to learn to accept that you are one of the most strongest and resilient species to have ever traded on Earth. Your species has survived thousands of years and still has dominated every single species on Earth. So just practically being human is legendary. Life for some people is difficult when you face setback after setback, problem after problem. It can get hard to stay optimistic and keep the same perspective of resilience. Sometimes when life is tough, giving up seems like the easiest option out. The truth is, when you actually feel like giving up, there's a lot of untapped inner strength that you haven't realized yet. The only certainty in life is death. As long as you're alive, you certainly have no excuse to say it can't. If you put it in your mind and you focus on whatever it is that you're trying to pursue, then surely you can do anything, and anything is very, very possible. Every second you spend hesitating or overthinking is actually a second closer to the inevitable. Yet, like I said, the only certain thing is death. Some might say that this is a morbid way to think. Quite frankly, I disagree, because death is a huge motivator. Understanding that time is limited or will always center you and will help you in balancing off priorities. So basically, the only valid reason to give up is when you're dead. But if you're listening to this now, means that you're alive, and giving up is certainly not an option. Regret is one of the worst feelings a person can feel. Don't put yourself in that position and focus on what you have to do now. Everyone deserves a shot at happiness and success, including you. So don't let small bumps on the way take away your ride. Think of your journey to success as a long road trip. First, there is a beginning, which basically begins at home, or rather in your comfort zone. Then you decide, okay, I have to travel, I have to go on a journey. Basically, then the next step is you mapping out your entire route. You make a goal. After this, you start your journey and begin to drive. As you travel, you encounter different weather conditions. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's dark, sometimes it gets windy, sometimes there is the rain, sometimes it actually gets sun blazing hot. Of course, you would not stop the journey now, would you? Because you have already made a goal. So you would strive till you arrive. You certainly deserve to reach your goal. So do yourself a favor and do not despair. Failure is normal. It is important to reach success. So it is impossible to reach success without facing any failure. So don't let anything stop you. Failure is not the end. It's like a stream changing direction before it actually reaches the ocean. There is not one successful person, dead or alive, who has not tasted failure. So think of it as a necessary ingredient. For example, salt is an essential part of most baked desserts. Yes, looking at it, one might wonder, why would you add salt in a very sweet cake? Well, in small amounts, what salt does is it enhances other flavor. So sprinkle some problems and sprinkle some failure onto your success cake, and trust me, it will make it much sweeter. Embrace all mishaps because they are preparing you to a greater thing. Thank you for tuning in to this episode. A big thank you to Mkukuju Media and you, my dear listener. Please leave your comments and questions in the comment section. Remember, life shrinks or expands in proportion with one's courage. Until next time, take care.